Hello humans, today I bought another new buck after the massive disappointment it had a name and I can't for the life of me care enough to remember it. It's the 285. After the 285, why don't they just go, I know they all have names. This one here I think is the 311 Godson or Fairchild or something. I don't care, I don't like that name, I like the 311. Right, you've got the Buck 110, the classic Buck 110, one of the greatest, or at least most prolific and most meaningful knives of all time. Here's my other Buck 110. Right, they have names. I'm not going to use them because fuck that noise. This is the 286, 285? 285. So this is the Buck 285. After the problems I had with it last time, boy, did this knife cause me some problems. And I still resent it. I'm going to fix it up once I have the opportunity to. I actually don't have access to my studio right now because I'm on break from school. Yay. Anyway, this isn't about my life situation. This is about this 253 Durham, whatever. Fuck this packaging. Made that clear. Fuck this packaging. It's got the stupid crimpy edges that just suck. Anything important on the back? 3.4 inch blade, 7CR 17 MOV. It's fine. It'll do. It's pretty entry level, but whatever. G10 handle, stainless steel pocket clip. 2.9 ounces, so that's pretty light. That's pretty good. And it's like an inch longer than the blade is closed. That's alright. Yeah, I got nothing really against 7CR 17 MOV. It's a steel. I think it's better than a lot of steels out there, but it's not great. But 7CR series is fine. It's an entry-level steel. I mean, I paid pretty much the same for these two knives. So this is the best comparison. Like, this thing here I got for 16 bucks, and it's just a fucking trooper at 16 bucks. Like, I cannot for the life of me tell you how much I love this knife at that price point. And just generally, this is a good knife, but at that price point, that's insane to me. This guy right here I also paid 15 bucks for, but I got it secondhand and in the condition that it's in. Like, it's fine. It's in pretty good condition, but whatever. This one here I got for 45 bucks. It came with the sheath, and this thing's in excellent condition, so I think I scammed the antique store when I bought it, but that's okay. Anyway, direct comparison. These two both cost about 45 bucks. Canadian. Always worth mentioning. Let's get into this godforsaken packaging. Like, here's the worst part, right? There's so much wasted plastic in this. Like, if you want to do something with this type of packaging, you can make it a very, very small amount of this type of packaging. You have the knife closed in a little tiny box on the bottom that's closed in like this with the cardboard coming out at the top. You don't need to have this fucking packaging. Ugh. Disgusting. I hate it. Thank you for nothing. You gotta... And it's sharp. Like, you start cutting it, and then you get sharp edges. Because, of course you do. Because it's garbage, and it knows it, and it wants to hurt you for creating it. It wants to hurt humanity for creating it. I'm convinced. Will that work? That will work. Perfect. Come out, Mr. 253. Oh! Oh, I like that. This is really smooth G10. Like, it's not like wood where you have that sort of, like, wood feel is the best way I can describe it. It's not like the synthetic stuff at all. It is... So here's another G10 knife that I have on hand right now. It's the Gerber flat iron. I hate it. That's not fair. It's a fine knife. There's just a lot of things about it that confuse me. This is like textured G10. I actually find it really unpleasant. But this is smooth. It feels nice. Ooh, that excites me. Like, you can feel a little bit of texture. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna slip on this very much, but at the same time, it's not uncomfortable, sharp, pointy, anything. It's just nice and relaxed. There's a point cover. Do we care? No. Great. So, initial impressions, it's a light knife. Like, it's not light like these guys are. These guys weigh nothing because there's no steel frame liners. It's synthetic material. There's like barely any steel components in either of them, right? Like, these are extraordinarily light knives. Like, this thing right here weighs gall. Genuinely, I think that this might weigh less than my leather. Even without the bead that I made, I think that these two weigh not that dissimilar amounts. Like, obviously, you know, this is a little bit heavier, but not by much. I need to get a scale out here at some point. I might steal that from home. But, yeah, this is nice. This is a different type of nice. It's heavy enough that I know I'm holding something and that I have confidence that I'm holding something, but it's light enough that I'm not uncomfortable holding it. Like the Buck 110, I love this knife. It's heavy, right? And that's good for what I like using it for. It's good for the type of hard work that I like putting a knife like this through. This right here feels more like I'm in an office building. I need to open up some mail, right? But at the same time, there might be a frog in the mail that I need to kill. It's got a cutout for the liner lock. It's a little bit small and a little bit pointy. Like, if I were doing this, I would have rounded it down just a bit more. But access is pretty good. Steel liner feels good. Like, I quite literally have no complaints about this steel liner. It is steel, right? Yeah. Be astonished if it was titanium at this price point. But, like, that feels good, to be perfectly honest. I got no complaints. I got no thoughts, though. Action is nowhere near drop shut. Oh, but it is very, very smooth. Oh. Pocket clip is pretty good. I'm gonna open it up before I do like some squeeze testing on it. Ooh. It's like that right there. It goes through stages where it's very, very heavy, and it goes through stages where it's very, very light. Like this is very light, heavier, and then it snaps open, right? Or something with a detent ball like this, even if I'm slow rolling it, right? It's really, really hard to get it moving, and then it wants to jump a bit, and then it's pretty hydraulic until you get to the end where it snaps open. If you've got like a slip joint, like a Victorinox here, it's tight, loose where it wants to hold itself, tight, and then it loosens and it snaps into place. Do I have anything else that's like that sort of hydraulic-y feel? Completely honestly, it feels a little bit like a friction folder, where it's just consistent pressure all the way through. Like, that's my Open L. Do I really not? Well, for the sake of it, where is that kitchen knife I was working on? There it is. Moving around my space, everything you're not supposed to do. Okay, I'm back. This right here is a folding knife I've been working on for school. It does not have an edge yet. It feels very, very similarly, where there's just this same amount of pressure everywhere through the motion. Like, obviously this needle is very, very loose because I want it to be. But like, it feels just happy. Anywhere along that motion that it finds itself, it's just happy to be there. Right? It doesn't want to be in a different position. Something like this, when I'm like this far, it wants to be closed, so it's building pressure. When it's this far, it wants to be closed. When it's about here, it's fine. It likes being there. It's all consistent. And then when it gets to like here, it wants to be open. Snap. But with this, like this 253 here, it just wants to be very, very consistently across the entire movement. Wants to be wherever it is. I like that. Lockup looks really, really good. This feels like a budget executive knife. Like, completely genuinely, this feels like a budget executive knife. And given how slim it is, given just how it looks, I'm pretty happy with that. Like, oh, fuck. Okay, here's my thing. Buck, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do, Buck? You've got like classics like your 110 line, which don't change them. They're great. Everybody knows these are hunting knives, right? Good quality folding hunting knives. Hard work, perfect. Don't change a thing about them. Same thing with the 112 Rangers and your fixed blade lines. All of those roughly know what they're doing, know what they're supposed to be. You've got this guy right here. I bought it $16 at Canadian Tire, right? Phenomenal. I have nothing to complain about with this knife at all. It's fully adjustable. I can, if it starts to go off center, I can, retune it. It's got a great detent. It's just snappy, super comfortable jimping, like good traction. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about flexing at all. Great. $16, easily the best $16 knife I've ever bought. Right? Like, I cannot say this enough. For $16, this knife is poetry. And you've got this. $44. Great disappointment. Like, this 285 is, gross. I don't like it. I like the bare bones idea of it. I like how light it is. I like the blade shape. Even the ergos I find quite nice once I remove the pocket clip. But the finer details like pinned construction and that fucking pocket clip, I don't like those. I don't like a lot of the finer details. I don't like it. Like, look at how much flex there is in this damn thing. It's gross. It's unpleasant. But then with this right here, same price, $44. It's buttery. It's so comfortable. And again, right, we've got screw construction. We've got, it's not a reversible pocket clip, one position pocket clip, but it's tip up this time instead of tip down. And yeah, it's a little bit uncomfortable. There's a little tiniest bit of a hot spot there if I squeeze on it. But like, that's fixable. That's what sandpaper was invented for. And like, even the liner lock is just a little bit of pressure. It's not going to disengage by accident. Like, you have to do it, but it's not tough or anything like that. And you just closed. I'm at a loss for words. Like, Buck has me a little bit confused right now. I'm just going to be perfectly honest about this. Classic stuff like this notwithstanding, because it is, it was perfected back when it came out in 64. We all know that. It's this kind of stuff right here that just is bad. Bad quality control, bad garbage. These are so nice, and I don't understand it. Like, completely honestly, the action on this guy right here is, at least on the open, like on the closed, it's not drop shut. It's nothing like that, and it was never going to be. Right? But on the open especially, this thing is comparable to my Civivi Chevalier, which is like quite literally, what, 7 times the price? Right? Great blade shape, perfectly fine steel as a sort of entry-level steel. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention steel on this guy. What is this? Oh no, I did. 7CR. These are the same steel listeners got, kind of the same steel. But fuck, man. I don't know. This knife, I'm liking this. It's not going to be a hard work knife. It's going to be an office style carry. I'm probably going to carry this at my retail job. But having this in hand and using this a little bit, I'm excited. This knife has me, it's restored my faith in this like level of Buck knives. I fully expected to buy it and kind of poo-poo on it a little bit, be a little bit upset, and kind of stop with the cheap Bucks. But having done this, actually, you know what it is? Might be Canadian Tire. These two both come from Canadian Tire. That's from Walmart. That's what it is. Alright. I kid. Sort of my conclusion. I got nothing else to say. I really like this. It's going to find its way into my pocket. Probably pretty often at work. Yeah. Stay safe and have fun with her, guys. Peace.